programme. You may be surprised to know I've got really broad tastes when it comes to TV. Sometimes I'll be watching telly with my boyfriend and I'll say, do you fancy watching the adult channel? And his eyes light up and he says, yes, I do. Then I put BBC 4 on. But the way we watch television is changing. Don't you find every time you take something off series link, it's like a tiny death? I always say sorry when I delete something. I'm sorry I have to let you go. I thought you were going to get better. Because we all record things we think we should watch, don't we? That BBC 4 documentary on the history of the egg whisk. Or Alan Yedtob's weasels. But then Friends is on, and it's one you haven't seen. This week. The skybox is very much like the fridge, I think. I'll probably just have a bowl of rocket. Oh, custard donuts. Talking of technology, 3D telly will never take off. It's just showing off, isn't it? It's a cock-waving thing. Actually, it's really good for cock-waving. To travel to places I've never been before, as long as it's via the Radio Times. I love watching Son, Sex and Suspicious Parents. It's where a young lad or lass go on their first holiday with friends and their parents secretly follow them with a camera crew. It should be called, oh shit, Mum and Dad are over there. Sometimes think it's called Son, See and Suspicious Parents rather than Son, Sex and Suspicious Parents, or with the kids just on a lovely beach holiday. And the parents watching saying, I don't understand it, he never swims like that at home. Some of the parents are disappointed in their children's behaviour. That's terrible. I'm going to have to teach you how to do blowjobs. Mum and Dad came on holiday to watch me, the voiceover would say, she's finished one book and is choosing between two others. She's looked at the minibar, but it's fruit and nut, and she's never really liked fruit and nut. She's rang downstairs for another toilet roll. She's sucking the chocolate off the fruit and nut. It's half bored, so she's having a massive breakfast and is shoving pastries in her bag. I went to Spain with my family when I was 5, and I was heavily into counting at the time. I wandered around the topless beach, came back and told me Mum I'd counted 93 boobs. And that's the story she always uses to tell any new boyfriend. I went to Paris recently, and me and my boyfriend decided to practice our French. We both have French GCSE, so we were pretty confident. We went into a cafe. Well, I say a cafe. We went into McDonald's. McDonald's. And my fella placed the whole order in French. Wow. Then it all went tits up when he left the counter and said, Dankeschön. I stay in hotels a lot when I'm on the road, and I always get confused by the towel thing. You know the towel thing? There's always a sign that says, help us protect the environment. And I just think, oh, do I have to? I was just going to have a nap and then much pointless. Do you want me to sort out your recycling? Is that it? I will, because I can, but I still don't really know where to put the cat shit. I just put it in with the meat, because that's what it smells like. The sign says, if the towel is in the bath, change it. If it's on the rail, use it again. If it's on the floor, I'm a man. And if it's wrapped around your body, keep your mouth shut. I don't like being disturbed in hotels, so I always put my do not disturb sign up. But sometimes there isn't one. So I make one. It's roughly torn from a sheet of my notepad, and I write on it, "Do not disturb." Then I draw some skulls and knives and a severed head. Always works. They must walk past and think, clearly, she's already disturbed. I was watching the Travel Channel the other day. I saw a programme called Extreme Water Parks, and I thought, surely all water parks are extreme? Otherwise, it's just a canal. Or a bath. My friend is terrified of flying, so drinks a lot of red wine and takes Valium before the flight. To calm her down, I said, you know, you're more likely to be killed on the drive to the airport than on the plane itself. Then I thought, well, yes, that's true, because she's full of red wine and Valium. And she's driving. I think people who are scared of flying must be at their best if the shit does hit the fan. They'd quite happily die being right, wouldn't they? The plane is plummeting, everyone's screaming, and they're going, thank you! I tell you what the best travel shows on television are. Anything by Michael Palin. Did you see his latest one? Michael Palin's Brazilian? I think that's what it's called. He's done so many travel programmes that now at Heathrow Airport there are 3 queues. EU, non-EU and Michael Palin. Michael Palin must be sick of travelling now, mustn't he? Do you think his next series, he'll just say, I've got me sandwiches, I'm just going to stay on the coach? Do you know what? Maybe I'll just ask him myself, because he's here. Please welcome actor, writer, comedian, TV presenter and national treasure, Michael Palin. Hello.
Hello.
Now, you've been around the world. You've been to Brazil, like we talked about. You've been to the North and South Pole. You've been to the Himalayas. What's the biggest Toblerone you've ever had? Have you had one of the huge Toblerones?
No, I haven't had one of the very big ones.
Really?
No.
You should treat yourself.
How big do they get?
About that.
Toblerones. Do they?
I mean, so I've heard.
Have you?
Yeah.
Is that when it's fully... No, that's the... Sorry, I mean, that's...
You mean when it's not on the slack?
An aroused Toblerone, that's an awful thought.
Pretty awesome thought. Now, you're one of the world's most intrepid travellers, aren't you? What I would like to ask you most is...
I know, it's going to be rude.
You don't know that. Is it true that you can't go to the toilet on a train when it's in the station? Is that true?
Well, you can, but it just lies there, you know, on platform 3 for a while. It's not very nice for the people about to get on the train.
I'm not bothered.
How would
they know it was me? It's not like anybody's on the platform going, ugh. Or maybe they are.
I don't know. You're a celebrity now. They probably have no. I won't go into that.
I'm not at that level where somebody would put one of mine on eBay, though. No. I think they'd do that with one of yours.
Oh, God.
That's why somebody's in your dressing room right now, probably. Now, you're constantly travelling, going around the world. Does your wife just want to get you out of the house, do you think?
I've got a feeling, yes, that's true. She's always suggesting places. Have you been to Papua New Guinea yet?
Do you think she's just got a big list?
Yes,
that
that's
she's
right.
just taken off?
14,000 miles away. That'll give me a few days off.
Do you think travelling men make better lovers because they're good at finding stuff?
Finding what?
Oh, really?
Finding their way around.
Who are Mrs. Palin?
Finding their way around. Probably. You'd have to ask her. Oh, don't. Now,
I'm asking a lot of questions here, aren't I? Did you expect the Spanish Inquisition?
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Now, when I go away, I take... if I go away for a decent length of time, which, like a month or something, then I'll take me slippers and I take my favourite mug. Have you got any creature comforts that you like to take away with you?
Not really. I mean, toilet rolls, because places I go to, you need them.
And would that be like a multi-pack, or...?
No, you've got to... The best thing is a flat pack, you know, you can't
Have you got to just sit for hours before you go, just tearing it all off?
Well...
That's his So that's your luxury, is toilet roll.
Well, luxury and necessity. Yeah, I don't have a luxury, really, no. You know, just, it's...
You treat yourself with some bog roll, like...
Spare pair of underpants, love.
You take
spare pair of underpants.
Spare pair.
Always have a spare pair. You never know when you get
hold on. Is that in addition to a pair a day, or do you just go away with one pair? Like a pair on and a pair in your bag, because then you can rub them through, can't you? I've seen it in streams and that.
That's the ideal. That's the ideal.
The ideal.
You can get your bag down to about that size. that's the best.
My handbag is bigger than that. And I need everything in it. Shut up. How did you get into presenting travel programmes? Did you just get sick of forcing the neighbours to look at your photographs and think, I'm just going to have to make this into a telly programme?
No, I was hanging around doing... It was after I'd done A Fish Called Wanda, and there was really no other films around, and Python had ended up, and the BBC came to me, and this guy sort of rang me up and said, we've got a project for you that only you can do. It's basically going around the world in 80 days. You be Phileas Fogg. You have a camera following you all the way around, and you have got that absolute combination of physical prowess, mental agility, wit, humour, you know, physical presence. You're just the man for the job, and I'm susceptible to a bit of flattery. So I said, OK, you're on. And it was only halfway around the world when the director got a bit pissed in a bar in Madras, I think it was. I realised I was the 5th person they'd asked to do it. So much for my natural stardom, but there we are.
You've been almost everywhere around the world, haven't you? Can you show me on this globe where you've had the shits?
Well, you can see, because it's not being cleaned off. Just... And you thought that was the Sahara Desert.
Another thing about train toilets... well, he's been everywhere. How do you get the doors to lock properly? Do you know? Have you know the toilets where they're just the door?
Oh, those.
And then it opens, and there's a little woman, old lady having a wee.
Yeah.
She can't reach the button. She can't get up because she's having a wee. Yeah. Have you ever been stuck in a toilet like that?
I have been stuck in one of those. Oh, it's a terrible, it's a panic, absolute total panic sensation, especially with the old lady there as well. You know. Who's going to go out and get help?
You've travelled the world, north to south, east to west. Have you ever been to South Shields, where I'm from?
I haven't been to South Shields, no, but you know Eric Idle was born there. Does he have a plaque there, along with yours, that says...
Along with mine.
Do you have...
I mean, I've drawn on a wall, but I don't think that's the same thing.
The council has to draw on it for you. Put your name on it.
He must have a plaque, mustn't he?
Sarah Millican lent on this wall. That's what they ought to put.
Well, that would just be a dent, wouldn't it? You wouldn't need a plaque for that.
What would I go and see in South Shields? What would be the three...
The three? You want three things? What I'd like to know is, have you ever sat on the baggage carousel and just gone all the way around?
Yeah, actually...
It's tempting, isn't it? It's always tempting.
Yeah, no, actually I have.
No!
Yeah. On A Fish Called Wanda, I had to... there's a bit where I'm on the... playing Ken, and I'm making a getaway, and I get onto the baggage carousel at Heathrow, and it goes along, and then I go down a chute, and I don't know quite why, but I did it.
You're generally known, and I think you've proved it tonight, you're generally known as a very nice man, aren't you? Well, you are. You might not agree with that, but you are. Yeah. Have you ever been a dick? I heard a story about a journalist. Is this true? I don't know if this is true. About your house. Is that true?
Oh, well, yeah, that's often quoted as the time I lost my temper. I wouldn't say I was a dick. I lost my temper.
Well, maybe I'll be the judge.
Oh, it was about early 1980s, two guys came round to interview me about my film, The Missionary, or something like that. And I don't know, they were just very sort of poncy, pretentious, clever dicks, really. And I walked out of the interview. But it was my own house, unfortunately. This was the problem. This was the problem. I left them in the room and I was going downstairs. But no, actually, hang on, I've done that the wrong way round. So I went out, bang, slammed the door and went out in the street. And they were in there with my, with my wife.
And finally, are you still a lumberjack and are you OK?
Yeah. I cut down trees, I eat my lunch. And those are the rabbit trees. Am Mittwoch gehe ich shopping, kau Kekse, zum Kaffee. That's the German version of Lumberjack song.
Wow.
Bin ein Holzfäller, fühl mich stark, schlaf des Nachts und hack am Tag.
That's still in there.
We did a Python show in Germany, and they took most of our sketches and said, well, you have to speak German. You know, so the only German I know is Python sketches. So, you know, it's great, actually. I went on a skiing holiday once, and some Germans, and we were sort of going up on one of these long train lifts. It took a long time. And they said, you know, English people, you know, why you never speak German. We German all speak English, you never speak German. Do you know German? I said, well, a little bit. Well, what do you know? I said, ich bin ein Holzfäller, fühl mich stark. Schlaf des Nachts und hack am Tag. Ich fälle Bäume auf mein Brot. Ich gehe auf das WC. Am Mittwoch gehe ich shopping, kau Kekse zum Kaffee. Bin ein Holzfäller. That shut him up.
You have been such a wonderful guest. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Palin. The nicest man in Britain, I think it's true. I grew up watching television, and apparently children still do. And lucky for them, there's a lot of children's television out there. It was nice to see all of our favourite faces of kids' TV making a comeback this year in that programme. What's it called? The News. Bought me one of the bagpuss mice when I got divorced. We will fix it, we will mend it. Apparently Relate don't accept fix it with glue as a valid counselling method. Bagpuss these days is something you usually see on Embarrassing Bodies. I miss kids' TV. Danger Mouse was known as DM, wasn't he? Kids these days wonder why there's a direct message mouse. I had a look at the listings to see what kids are watching these days. There's Grandpa in Your Pocket. I know they shrink as they get older, but that's ridiculous. In the Night Garden is a bit iffy, isn't it? Here are some of the episode titles. Ninky Nonk Wants a Kiss. My Ninky Nonk always wants a kiss. Everybody all aboard the Ninky Nonk. All aboard, at least form a queue. Iggle Piggle's Mucky Patch. Washing the Haw-Hoos. Where is the Pinky Ponk going? It's always good to wash the Haw-Hoo before the Ninky Nonk gets kissed. Especially if everyone is all aboard it. And you don't know where the Pinky Ponk is going. How are kids supposed to follow that? It's like Game of Thrones for toddlers. I could be a Blue Peter presenter. If they want an old one to stay in the studio to look after all the pets while they're out bungee jumping. Someone has to stay in for the delivery of the sticky back plastic. Keep checking the tortoises aren't dead. I once made a swing for my doll off Blue Peter. and it was so shit and stressful that my mum and dad took me out and bought me one. So the next week, I made a dog. What I'd like to do now is find out more about the world of children's television, and who better to tell me about it than the 33rd presenter of Blue Peter. She's a sort of girl who picked me last for netball. Please welcome Helen Skelton. Thank you so much for joining us by Skype from a Blue Peter assignment in Exeter.
I'd like to say I'm in a glamorous location, but I'm in a hotel that we've sort of blagged our way into so that I can talk to you. My life is a series of Premier Inns.
Oh, bless you. Now, how many times a day do you get asked for a Blue Peter badge?
About 50.
Can I have a Blue Peter badge?
Depends. If you make that swing again for your doll and send it in, then we'll assess it.
Wow. Do you have to take the Blue Peter animals home?
The dog's mine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the dog that's on the show at the minute, Barney the dog, he's my dog, so yeah, he comes home with me. So
I like that you called him Barney the dog. Is that his surname?
We have to call him that because the other presenter's called Barney as well.
Oh, of course. But you would think that you wouldn't get a person and a dog mixed up very often, like, oh, have you done the shit on the floor again, Barney? Which one do you mean? Do you ever wish you could go to Tenerife for the Blue Peter summer expedition? You could learn about sunburn, hair of the dog and holiday thrush.
Well, funny enough, I'm doing a show for BBC One called Holiday Hit Squad, so...
Fingers crossed for that thrush, love. Now, you've done a lot of work with the guides, haven't you?
Yes.
Yes, I was in the Brownies for a week. The only bit I liked was the tuck shop at the end. But at least I got me diabetes badge, which is good. Did they give you any badges when you worked with the guides?
No, because do you know what? I've worked with the guides since I've joined Blue Peter, and I do their concert, which is brilliant. But when I was actually a guide, I got thrown out because we were playing hide and seek one week, and my hiding place was so good, they had to get the police out to look for me, so they couldn't. I think a bit too seriously.
I don't think they should have thrown out the guides. You should have made your brown owl.
I hid in a skip, and apparently that's not a safe place to hide.
Now, you travelled 2,000 miles down the Amazon River for sport relief. I heard you were kayaking it.
I was, yeah.
I mean, I'd have been nervous too. Don't feel bad. I'm going to do my own Amazon challenge. I'm going to try and get them to deliver in time for Christmas. Now, what do you turn down if this is the sort of thing that you say yes to?
I hate singing and dancing. I'm terrible at singing and dancing. But the trouble with Blue Peter is they make you do the things you don't like doing. So you kind of got to pretend that you're really into it. I stupidly said that I'm scared of rats. So they buried me in a coffin of rats at work.
Oh, my God.
Freaking out. I was awful.
So did nobody tip you off? Because now that you've tipped me off, I'd probably say, oh, I hate being sat in a trifle. Now, you're quite small, aren't you? How tall are you?
5'3".
You're quite small. Are you overcompensating, do you think?
I think it's a fine line between brave and stupid with me. Like, if I'm honest, when I said, let's go to the Amazon, my boss said, do a bit of it. And I went, let's do it all. Then I had to go and look at the map. I didn't realise how big it was. It goes across the whole continent.
Now, when asked what challenge you'd like to do next, you said you'd like to do Iron Man. Now, hands off, love, because I've bagsied Robert Downey Jr. for myself. You did a Royal Marine endurance course, didn't you?
That's why I'm in Exeter now, yes. I did the endurance course.
How many Royal Marines did you endure?
I'm the only girl on the whole site.
You're going to be knackered. great guest. If you weren't so nice, I'd bloody hate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Helen Skelton. Another thing I love on telly are antiques shows. I'm very into antiques. I've got biscuits in my house that are up to 3 hours old. About 2 hours. I was out for a while and it's a big packet. Flog it is where people find stuff in their home to sell for as much as possible. Much the same as heroin addicts. Bargain Hunt used to be presented by David Dickinson. I don't know what age he is. Bronze, I think. I don't understand the Antiques Roadshow. If I wanted to watch greedy people in a queue, I'd just stay in Greg's. Going on the Antiques Roadshow is a bit like going to an STD clinic, isn't it? Because they ask you, where did you pick this up? How long have you had it? Do you mind if I look at the bottom? I like it when the punters bring something in and say, we've had this in a box for 120 years and we can't work out what it does. It's a tortoise. Antiques Roadshow must be like sticker collecting for the Queen. She must sit in front of it going, got, need, got, swapsies. At my old place, I had to root around in the loft and found loads of stuff. I sold the lot, but the people in the flat upstairs were livid. Do you think in years to come someone will bring on a rampant rabbit? Yes, it's been in the family. I think it was my grandma's. Yes, we still use it just on special occasions. I'm not sure you can trust what the experts are saying. If they say it must have great sentimental value, it's worth nothing. If they say you'd never want to sell it, would you? It's worth nothing. But when they say it's priceless to you, it's worth nothing. Here are some things I'd like them to say on the Antiques Roadshow. We found this in the attic. We don't know what it is. It's your boiler. Put it back. Sorry, this isn't worth anything. Do you have anything else that's been in your family for generations? Eczema? Today, I brought along something that's been on the shelf for 30 years. It's me Auntie Kathleen. Today, I brought along something that's been in the closet for 30 years. It's me Auntie Kathleen. She's still got the original box. Find out more about antiques, so I thought I should speak to one of the best in the business. Please welcome the host of BBC One's Bargain Hunt, it's Tim Wonnacott. Hello. Now, Bargain Hunt is on its 32nd series.
Yes, I will make this year my 1000th edition of Bargain Hunt.
Wow, and are the early ones quite valuable now, are they?
Yeah. Only if they're mint and boxed.
Let's have a little look at you in action, if we may.
What do you think about this little treasure? Little is the word, isn't it? It's a kind of little novelty, is this thing. I mean, I love it because the silver has been embossed with this diagonal raised stripe, which means it's easy to grip. And of course, it does beg the question, what exactly is this brush used for? My best guess is that it's a muff brush. Every well-dressed woman at the end of the 19th century would have had a muff to keep her hands warm in during the winter, and she'd have used a muff brush to give her little muff a little dusting over.
You're good. You're so good at keeping a straight face there. You must have known the dual meaning of the word.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Now, you're in quite good condition, aren't you?
I beg your pardon?
You're in quite good condition, and I think if we cleaned you up a bit and scraped you down, then you'll be quite collectible.
Well, there's a degree of restoration that could be done, that's true.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I like that. Do you still have your original drawers?
They're all impeccably lined, I can promise you.
Oh, it's good, isn't it? Good. How often do you polish your tall boy?
Did you say, how often do I polish my toe ball?
Tall boy?
My tall boy?
Yes. Sorry, is it an accent thing? Should I do it in you?
No, don't.
How often do you polish your tall boy? That's better, isn't it?
I rather thought you might have said, how often does one polish one?
It's like a punch-off. I can't win.
Not often.
I have a large but beautifully proportioned chest. Would you like to appraise it? That's my usual chat-up line, to be fair.
Yes. Appraisal is everything, isn't it? It's a question of colour, form, quality.
It's sort of purpley, motley blue. Sometimes bits of blue come in.
Does this depend on the temperature or what?
Pretty much. It does change with the temperature.
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah. If they're warm, if it's warm. What would you recommend I start collecting as, like, a future antique? Is there something you can recommend?
Well...
Like, because I've got a signed George Foreman grill. I'm just saying, I'm not bragging, I'm just saying.
Have you ever used it?
Have I ever used it? Yes.
OK, well, that's a shame, really.
Oh, really? It needs to be clean and untouched and in a box.
It probably, yes.
OK, what I really want to know is, are Happy Meal toys actually worth anything? Or is that just rubbish, like the thing with the Beanie Babies? They're not.
Happy Meal toys.
Happy Meal, not Happy Mail.
What's a Happy Meal?
I know what a Happy Meal is.
No, I have to say I'm not a Happy Meal toy expert valuer. I'd have to go to a person who knew more about it.
Yes.
Some large person.
Understood.
Probably.
What's your house like? Imagine it's like me on Boxing Day, just full of crap you can't shift.
I regard it as a lot of treasures, actually. But, yeah, I'm afraid it's a fair old crush.
Really? Thank you so much, Tim. You've been really great. But I couldn't let you go without asking you to give me a valuation on a few bits of mine. Is that all right?
You've brought your bits with you?
I've brought me bits with us. Do you mind?
This is an invitation that I cannot refuse.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Wonnacott. Doing this, Tim. I mean, I'm not an expert like you, but I think I have got a good eye. You don't mind this, do you?
No. It's meat and drink.
OK, let's start with this one. Now, to be honest, this has just been hanging on my downstairs loo wall. What do you think?
Well...
I like the way his nipples follow you around the room.
I don't fancy it's going to be a huge seller, frankly.
Really?
No. What's next?
OK, harsh. I've got some furniture.
Oh, yeah?
Scandinavian in origin, I think.
Now, these Danish designs are very, very popular.
OK, well, it's still in the original box, as you can see. It's never been assembled, mint condition.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I don't think it's quite my cup of tea, thanks very much.
OK.
Thank you.
Well, I've I've still got, it's all right, I've still got a few bits.
Bit of swag bag.
Get my bag out. I've got a dead parrot here. It's a Norwegian blue. Lovely plumage.
Now, wherever did you...
Excuse me.
Hey! Oh! Now what?
I've got, this is Cliff Richard's Wired for Sound. It's a classic from 1981. It's my favourite record of all time. Cliff.
Yeah. And that would be just priceless for you, wouldn't it?
I've got one more thing.
Uh-oh.
This is my muff brush. I'll do a little demonstration just because I knew you were a bit puzzled before. Like a downward motion, but all the way out to get all the mats out, you know, all the tats out like that. What do you think?
Your muff brush is a good deal bigger than mine.
Do you think it might be worth something?
It is now.
Just hold it by the handle because it's still a bit...
Yes, exactly.
Thank you very much for coming on the show, ladies and gentlemen, Tim Wonnacott. I was not expecting that. That's it for tonight. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to talk about the Antiques Road Trip, or as it's also known, the Rolling Stones on tour. The Muppets, felt animals. Oh no, not animals as well. And Undiscovered Mummies, or as it's more commonly known, Jeremy Kyle. Good night.
Up next on BBC Two, Milton Jones, Miles Jupp and Josh Widdicombe are mocking the week.